Without attachment to any destination or outcome, I accepted the doing of each mile with joy. That was the way. A road up and over a mountain pass, a highway across the country, the journey of life, all with acceptance of what is, without attachment to what might be, embracing the here and now. That is the way. The dance that was the orchestra of activity which propelled me on the motorcycle along the road was effortless. Shifting up and down through the gears, braking, twisting the throttle, leaning and looking far and wide, I was watching it all happen. I didn't have to think about how to breathe. It just happened. I wasn't conducting all the activity on the motorcycle. It just happened. The boundary between me, the motorcycle, the road, and the environment slipped away. I was flying through space. It was an eternal moment. In a place between life and death, there is the eternal moment outside of time and space. This is where there is pure acceptance of the oneness. This is where I will always be and have always been. It is the recognition and knowing of the universal truth that we are all connected, never alone, never separate, and that we are creation. We are creation, the universe experiencing itself. My body was electric, and I could feel the energy from head to toe. There was no containing it. Bliss radiated from my being. Waves of gratitude poured from my heart. The smile, the tears in my eyes, and each breath was recognition that I was not alone. The knowing came. I was not just Noah. I was and would be forever eternal. I was and I am creation at play. I sat on the bike moving at speed down the road in that eternal moment. It was a good day to die.
And so it begins again. Wow. I am leaving Boca Raton for a new adventure. Kind of riding out of that city of obstacles. I have to take my time. Country in the state, definitely a tough start. Gonna punk out and quit? Wow, I'm doing all this highway bullshit.
I needed to put a pin on the map and designate a point that would pull me forward. Something that would be a beacon, a guidepost to a place. It would be the gravity that would pull me over 2,200 miles from home in Florida. It would be the longest walk to the corner I had ever taken. 4 places in one, 4 states at one GPS coordinate, and a moment to anticipate. Well, I'm getting ready to leave now. It's almost 9 a.m., 8:52 on a hot Florida morning.
I'll see you soon. Here we go. 42,981. And so it begins again. Wow. Hard to believe. Just got to focus on one day at a time. Just one moment at a time. Okay. So here I am. I'm leaving Boca Raton. I don't even remember today's date. What's today's date? It's Friday. And a new journey begins. All right, here we go. September 8th, 2023. I am leaving Boca Raton for a new adventure. I'm getting on the Florida Turnpike now, as always, to get out of Florida. A lot of interstate, as always, trying to get out of the state from Southeast Florida. Anyway, it's been several years since I've done a big adventure. When I say big, I mean something that's further from home in several weeks. I've gone away a week or two at a time, but it hasn't been since 2019 where I was away for a month. So that probably is consistent with the plan right now. There's been a lot of preparation up to this point, for sure. And I've been looking forward to it. But like with all trips, there's an element of apprehension when you start and a tinge of anxiety, but that's all natural when you're starting a new adventure and you're planning on being away from home for a while. More on the destination in a little bit.
I needed to put a pin on the map and designate a point that would pull me forward. Something that would be a beacon, a guidepost to a place, that would both be a beginning for something and an ending for something else. I have no recollection of how I selected the point of interest, but a decision was made. The Four Corners Monument, Navajo Tribal Park would be that beacon. It's a point where Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah meet. 4 states, and it would define the trajectory of the journey.
Well, there's a lot of reasons I haven't taken a longer trip in the last several years. 2019 was the big trip I went to, Banff and Jasper, the Canadian Rockies from Florida. And then COVID hit, which slowed everybody down. Then there was a bunch of health issues I had, nothing seriously major, but a few that prevented me from long stints on the bike. The comfort of being home, which is a good thing. I really enjoyed the zen of just being home with the wife and the family and my routine. It's a good life. And so you get comfortable, even if you're living in the moment, get comfortable in that routine. Or the house, I felt tied to the house. There were projects to be done, not wanting to leave family, a sense of responsibility, as always. So there was a lot of things I had to get past. But the big one was the physical issues. So the last 3 weeks, I spent getting PRP, platelet-rich plasma injections in the knee, 3 of them, doing a lot of rehab. I've been always doing that. And that seems to have helped a bunch. So I got my offloader brace, I got an ice pack with me, I got medication, I got some isometric exercises to do on the bike, and hopefully the knee will cooperate, but it's just something that I'll work with. Right now I'm doing good, but I'm 30 minutes into the ride. So I think a big lesson for me in all this time is just really about acceptance of getting older, acceptance of minor challenges or limitations, definitely relative to some big things other people have to deal with. But it's something that I've had to recognize and be aware of. So today marks the day where I'm kind of riding out of that city of obstacles that I put in place. Some real, some perceived, but something I definitely could move past. And I'm looking forward to the adventure. First gas stop. 90 plus degrees on the road. Oh boy. First tank almost full. And a full tank. Oh, it's like 90 degrees in Florida. It's baking. I just bought, a few weeks ago as part of the prep, I bought a cooling vest and a cooling, I don't want to call it a scarf, but kind of a microfiber. So I just went to the bathroom here and I filled this whole thing up with water, and I'm going to give it a shot. So let's see about the natural air conditioning. I have to wring it out a little bit, and a little drippy, a little soaked, but wring it out. Oh, that already feels good. I think the key is once I'm moving, the evaporation is going to hopefully make all the difference. Scarf's in there, I'll save that, but I'll let out some of the water. I just put on the cooling vest, and the temperature out here is fucking unbearable. So I'm going to get moving, and let's see how this works from the road. It feels like a weight vest, and it's a little damp, but I am noticing a little bit of difference here. So it's 91 degrees out in Florida, and as you can see, it's hot. That's always the biggest impediment I have for going on a motorcycle trip and leaving Florida, because most of the year when the weather's great everywhere else, it's incredibly hot here to get out of the state. This is the furthest trip I've taken to the corner. So that's the first leg of the journey. It's about 1,900 miles from my home to the corner. Actually 2,000. And so I'll be buzzing along the interstate most of the way there. And then once I get to the corner, I'm gonna do a figure 8 loop through a bunch of states. But over the last few weeks, I did a lot of prepping and planning, laid out some potential routes, different legs of the journey, and probably a 3,000 to 4,000 mile backroads adventure once I get to where I'm going, which I should be there in about 4 days. Some new motorcycle gear, which I was pretty excited about, but it was not as comfortable. And as you could tell, I'm wearing the same gear I've worn for the last 40,000 miles. And then I said, well, let me get a new GPS. Let me get the Garmin Zumo XT2. And as you can see, I'm still riding with the Nav 6. So I had the XT2 for about a week and a half, using it, beautiful screen, much bigger, nice features, faster, but so many bugs. I felt like I was system testing their software. I logged like almost a half a dozen different bugs and issues, and that's not something I want to deal with on the road. And I'm back to my old setup. Oh, but one thing I did get is I'm vlogging now on the helmet with a DJI Osmo Action 4. So I'll see how this goes. After years, I still have a GoPro. I still have some GoPros. You can see it sitting there. After years of GoPro problems, it's resets and other issues. It's like, forget about it. So I decided to call it quits. Anyway, look at that weather up ahead. Big storm. So I'm gonna have to pull over and put away the camera and the microphone so that doesn't get ruined. No point in putting on rain gear. Might as well just get wet when it's 91, 93 degrees out. And eventually I'll dry off. Just stop to take the camera off. Some really bad weather is coming. And I'm not putting on rain gear because it's 93 degrees out. That would defeat the purpose. So maybe it'll be good to get a little soaked. Although it's pretty ominous, the sky pretty severe. So I have to take my time.
Stopped by an underpass on I-75 to get my rain gear on, over my already soaked motorcycle gear. I didn't have a choice. It was a fire hose of rain and muddy water, so the gear was necessary. I was terrified on the side of the road. My life was in the hands of all these drivers plowing through a flooded roadway at speed. Trucks were tossing waves of water on me. I managed to get my rain gear on and slowly rejoin the treacherous flow of traffic through the severe thunderstorms.
So I'm just outside of Gainesville, about 25 miles, and that really, that rainstorm really got me pretty bad. So I'm soaked through and through. A little bit of an oil leak that maybe later I'll get the tools out and fix. It seems minor. I'll have to watch it. But yep, I don't know. It's rough start first day, and I still am like halfway to go. And it had me really thinking about, do I want to keep going all the way across the country, or do I just want to stay on the East Coast? But then, you know, once you start telling everybody what you're doing, that's another aspect. Definitely a tough start. Very wet. Really thinking hard about crossing the country in this heat. Makes me think, what did I get myself into? Yeah, I'm not being like 300 miles into the trip. I don't know, when I was planning it, looking at 2,000 miles to get to where I want to be to have a great ride, I knew there was going to be a lot of highway miles. I've done it before. But man, it's weighing on me right now. I don't know, it's maybe because I've been out in that area of the country, I don't feel as motivated anymore. Maybe the heat, 93 degrees, and then the torrential downpour, everything's soaked. I'm soaked through, all the gear, everything. Just anticipating that long ride. I don't know. I mean, I could be in the mountains of North Carolina tomorrow at this time, riding great roads in the forest, having a blast. Is it as different? Not necessarily, but I'll save myself 4,000 miles of riding. But there's also that aspect of, oh, I mentioned to people, hey, I'm heading in the direction of Colorado, and then it's like, that's why I don't like to tell people my plans, because I don't want to feel like I'm making plans because I told someone or I set some expectation for someone else. It's really what I want to do. I could turn around. I could go right to North Carolina. I don't need to go across country. But then there's a part of me which feels like I did all this planning and all the routes, and I set up this grand vision, and then I'm like, gonna punk out and quit? Is it quitting? Am I punking out? I just want to do something different. I don't know, maybe I'll ride another 300 miles today, stop North Georgia out of the heat, and tomorrow morning make some decisions. I mean, because that's where the left turn is. 1,400 miles, 3 days more of riding to get to the start, what I call the start, which is Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I have a lot to think about, but man, right now my motivation is sapped. So should be more excited about, but I think maybe it's just not new enough, some of those places, or maybe I get what I need with a shorter trip and the mountains of North Carolina and in Virginia and Tennessee, and it's just to be out on the bike and not have to do all this highway bullshit. Maybe I haven't been on the bike in a while, and doing all this highway bullshit is really fucking wears on you. But that's where I live, so I either trailer the bike somewhere or I ride. And if I wait longer, which I didn't want to do, then it gets cooler out, but then it's later in the year and it's colder in other places, and I don't know. I have some thinking to do. I'm going to finish my apple and try to get the bike sorted and keep moving. Bike went down. Took a while to get the bike set up. I'm gonna go get some gas and head in the direction of Santa Fe, even though I was yesterday and this morning and up until 5 minutes ago debating whether that's the thing to do. But bike's all set. I'm ready to go. Let's get on the road. Well, I just left Tifton, Georgia, and I'm heading northwest in the direction of Little Rock, Arkansas, and Hot Springs. Don't know if I'll stop in Hot Springs. I've been there before. But the ultimate goal, at least as it stands now, is Santa Fe, which is in 1,500 miles. Yesterday, I was really debating whether just to go to North Carolina, and it's still in the back of my mind, and not do all this cross-country riding, 2,000 miles there and back to get to the riding that I want to do. So there's some apprehension about the long ride, especially in the heat and the highway, all the highway miles, and being so far away from home. That sense of attachment and letting go is a factor. But I feel like it's a better story. Not just to write in the journal or take video. I mean, that's not really the issue. It's just from a life experience. Why am I doing this? I'm living. You're given this life once. You have to do what you can to honor creation. And maybe that's what I'm doing. So try to do something that's a little bit more challenging, a little hard, a little uncomfortable. And although it's, I was thinking about the sofa last night and Apple TV and all the streaming stuff I could be watching on TV. But hey, that's just another drug, I guess, although it's a good one. There's some good stuff to watch. But I'm hoping the weather and the temperatures get better, and I'll just take it day by day. Today, Little Rock, Arkansas is about 640 miles from where I'm at. I don't know if I'll put in that kind of distance. Maybe somewhere between 5 and 6. We'll see how it goes. But today's Saturday, so I figure another 3 days of riding and I'll be in New Mexico. And that is not the start of the journey. The journey started weeks ago, preparing and everything. But that'll be the start of the next leg. It's really the stuff that excited me about going in this direction, visiting some familiar places and some new places, and doing something that's maybe a little different and unexpected and out of the ordinary. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride, and I'm going to enjoy the temperature right now until it gets up there. It's 79 degrees and all the sweat from setting up the bike is evaporating. So I guess you could tell I'm pretty obsessed with the heat, living in Florida. It's either a heat wave or it's beautiful, the weather. I saw an old Chevy Impala before that. They must be going to some Saturday meetup somewhere. And I'm enjoying the morning. One, because of the weather. The other thing is I haven't been on the interstate. Been on U.S. highways and state highways. So not particularly back roads, but it's definitely better than being on an interstate. So I have to make more of a concerted effort not to spend too much time on the interstate, or as minimal time as possible. So I'll see. It's only the next, today and the next 2 days where there'll be the possibility of interstate riding to kind of sprint forward. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to avoid it. Well, looks like this group's out for a Saturday ride. That's a flag. Big flag. Temperature is up there. Oh, that water looks refreshing. Love to jump in. bike went down in the parking lot on a banana fucking peel. Okay. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Oh boy. Yeah, it caught the banana right here, you can see. Oh boy. Well, thanks a lot. There's the banana. Oh boy. Oh well. Thank heaven for the crash bars. Because they didn't have pay at the pump, so I was going to pull around. And banana all over the tire. Everything looks okay. Just noticed the mirror got loose. I'm going to have to pull over somewhere and fix it. Can't ride like this. Well, mission accomplished. I think the mirror is fixed. I tightened the bolt. A little bit of adventure. Kinda. This is the charging and process of unpacking in the room and the chaos that ensues with charging all the devices and doing some route planning and writing and throwing all my shit all over the bed, charging more stuff, clean helmet. At least I hung my gear up. Definitely a lot of stuff. It's amazing all this shit fits on the motorcycle. Well, it's Sunday, the 10th. I'm just out of Memphis in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And the temperature dropped. It's about 66 degrees now, which is great. It's taken me about an hour, 40 minutes, almost 2 hours to get the heck out of the hotel, as usual. I'm gonna take my time setting up the bike. I'm gonna go get some gas, get on the road, head in the direction of Little Rock, Arkansas, on my way to Santa Fe. And another day, packing and unpacking. That's the hard part about all this. You know, fitting everything on the bike, and not that I overpack so much, but you know, computer, camera gear, and the clothes kind of adds up. Okay, there is no quick exit for me. I don't know, no matter how many times I set this bike up, I'm still figuring shit out last minute, like getting it wrong. Well, just taking my time. All right, time to get going. I'm in, where am I? Tennessee, 2 miles from Memphis. Well, bye-bye Memphis. It's a beautiful day. Just got off to a slow start. I'm looking forward to like getting to New Mexico and Colorado and just taking a bunch more deep breaths, spending a bunch of days in one place, doing some loops, taking my time, not worrying about the mileage or having to get somewhere. Not that I'm, oh, look at that. I'm in Arkansas already. That was quick. Just popped in and out of Tennessee. In like 20, 30 minutes, it was Mississippi, Tennessee, and now Arkansas. And on my way to Oklahoma. I'll be passing by Hot Springs, Arkansas, so there's that opportunity to get off and ride those roads, but I've done it a couple times already, ridden in that area, and I'm just going to keep pushing on the interstate. I really want to be in Santa Fe tomorrow for dinner, and I have about 988 miles to do between today and tomorrow, so I'm just going to buzz. And then I'll have a couple weeks of no more interstate. Right, I'm outside of Little Rock, Arkansas, back to I-40. Yesterday, I'm like freaked out in gas stations. I'm like looking for bananas. Huh. All right, just reviewing the route. So many trucks, but they're all going across the country. All right, I-40 west. What's crazy is, like, of course, I'm going to talk about it now and you don't see it, but as you ride I-40, all you see in certain areas are the leftover carcass of tires, blown out, flat tires from trucks, thrown all over the road, all over the side. It's like a graveyard of rubber. Of course, I'm talking about it right now, and there's no evidence of it, but definitely there, on the straightaways for sure. I guess by exits here, they clean it up pretty good. Well, passing Little Rock, look at the GPS. Look at the directions. 758 miles, exit 275 Santa Rosa. 758 miles on 40 west if I don't get off the highway and change the route just to get to Santa Rosa, and then from there Santa Fe. Santa Rosa is like an hour from Santa Fe. 758 miles on one road. That's just west. What a thing to contemplate. Well, not going to happen in one day. It's 2 days of that. So I'm not going to think too hard about that distance. It's just one tank full of gas at a time, one gas stop at a time. Airstream, cool. So far, 350 miles today. I gotta do at least 450. I have 557 miles to Santa Rosa, 667 to Santa Fe. I'd like to get into the mid 500s for tomorrow at most to get to Santa Fe. So I'm gonna push it a little bit, but I'll see. The Dust Bowl, The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck. Tales of the Depression, the migration to California in search of riches, gold. An attempt to escape the Depression in the East. Reach that land of milk and honey, California. There's so much history, so many names of Native American places and people of note. I mean, what happened? The history here. Oh, there has to be room for some redemption for the country. Hot, hot, hot. I can't wait to be in Colorado. I think Ouray is in the 60s, going down to the high 40s at night. Ass. Fucking sore. And I got that Moto Skivvies underwear on. And, I mean, it helps, but, 1,400 miles into the trip. All right, look at that sun. Oh, here we go. 93 degrees, motherfucker. Do this. See if I could, a bit more of a push. Maybe another 40 minutes. Oh. Just poured a half a bottle of cold water down my shirt. I have a cooling vest, but I definitely didn't want to, wasn't inclined to put it on and wear it. Just wanted to get going. Man, look how hot it is out. Holy moly. Oh, that wet shirt, cold water feels good evaporating. Natural air conditioning. All right, I gotta get in the game and pay attention to the road. Well, I'm just outside Oklahoma City and rode probably around 480 miles today. I'm about 540 miles or so from Santa Fe. So big ride tomorrow if I go all the way. The temperature is really, it's been bad here. Everybody says it's crazy how hot it's been, but it's in the mid 90s. But I'm happy to have a room. I'm gonna go wash up and unpack some of my gear and go grab some dinner after a nice shower. I'm by, I think it's called Tinker Air Force Base up the road. So there's a lot of pretty cool planes, vintage planes, kind of surrounding the perimeter, which was pretty interesting to ride past. Well, getting ready to pull out of Oklahoma City. It's not raining at the moment, but there are thunderstorms on I-40 and it's in the 60s. So I'm opting to put my rain gear on and be a little warm so that I could just keep rolling. After yesterday's hot riding, it's almost like I relish a little bit of rain. Actually, I take that back. Better it doesn't rain, it just stays cool. Off to Santa Fe or somewhere close. Take two, no rain, and it was too hot. Time to put on some rain gear. A little chilly. Oh, I'm having Subways for lunch for the third day in a row. Convenient and easy, gas and Subways. Probably about 30 minutes from Amarillo, Texas, and another probably 2.5 hours from Santa Rosa, New Mexico, 4 hours from Santa Fe, so that's the goal. The weather has been rainy and cold all day on I-40 West, 66. Can't figure out if maybe I like the rain and cold weather better than the heat yesterday, or maybe it was just the change, but I got the gear on, just pushing through. I'm excited to find some green and red chilies, some different salsas, some carne asada, and hopefully the weather will be better.
Buzzing west on I-40, I can't remember for how long, the sky growled an ugly gray storm on the horizon. The dance of putting the rain gear on and off commenced. Eventually, I would just leave it on. The wind was pushing me sideways and howling for hours and hours, but I just kept throttling forward. The gravity to get to Santa Fe was strong. I planned the journey, I viewed getting to Santa Fe, New Mexico as a major milestone. It was the first leg of the adventure, getting to a place where the riding would change and the options were endless. Once I would reach Santa Fe, the long miles of interstate riding would be behind me for the foreseeable future. It was the place where the vibe of the journey would transition. Getting there would be a long riding day of 540 miles, predominantly all on I-40 West.
More rain! More rain! Put the rain gear on again.
After contemplating a major change of plans and just diverting to North Carolina from Georgia instead of heading west, it felt even more meaningful to arrive in Santa Fe. I met the challenge and was glad to have done it. Well, I'm at a very expensive hotel in Santa Fe. I'm in the garage. The weather was atrocious today, a lot of rain, over 540 miles. I just booked a hotel right down here, something fancy, because I didn't want to ride anymore, and I'll treat myself nice. It was a long ride. So that's that. Santa Fe at night. 540 miles today in the rain, 4 days on the road, 1,950 miles about, and I'm here. Well, let's see if I could get a place in this restaurant. It's supposed to be very popular and only walk-ins. So we'll see. 4 days on the road. I'm gonna rest up for 2 nights here. Santa Fe. Yep, that was a big dinner.
Your destination is on the right.
Fancy hotel. I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The first leg of the journey was complete. I rode 1,950 miles from Boca Raton, Florida, through some crazy heat, torrential downpours. Yesterday was 540 miles from Oklahoma City to here. I had it in my mind that I wanted to get here. It was a long day, but I'm really happy to have made the journey. When I was in Florida after the first 300 miles, I almost contemplated going to North Carolina, and I was dreading the 2,000 plus miles across the country and back, and just thinking about it. And then I started to remember, I just got to focus on one gas stop is my goal. 150, 170 miles to the next gas station, and not think about the big ride, and just enjoy being on the bike. So that's what I did, and here I am. And I took a double overnight in Santa Fe to kind of reward myself with a day off the bike and enjoy this major milestone. And I'm happy to have the opportunity, really grateful just to be here now and to be on another journey. When I planned this trip, I wasn't really sure about what my motivations were. And the trips that I had done in 2018, 19, before the pandemic, it was 50 of 50 days on the motorcycle. A lot of it had to do with being on the bike and seeing new places. Also kind of like a spiritual pilgrimage, that the road as a catalyst to ignite that spark of awareness. That was a big motivation. Of course, I want to be on the bike and see new places. Of course, it's an opportunity to practice yoga on the motorcycle, so to speak. That spiritual pilgrimage, to be in the moment, to be mindful. But then over the years, writing in the journal, writing a book, that's another factor that brings me a lot of joy. also working on videos, whether I put it on YouTube or not. When I come back, I get to relive the experience, and it's a fun process. So I have different motivations for taking the journey now. It's kind of evolving, but I definitely feel incredibly grateful to have made it here, and also about meeting the challenge of, just to keep going, to keep pushing on. And that was really something that I thought hard about when I was in Florida. Yeah, I was just really thinking about that point 300 miles in Florida where I stopped, and I was contemplating turning to North Carolina and not coming all this way, not crossing all those interstate miles. And then I really thought about it. I thought about it hard. Of course, that would be an adventure in North Carolina. It would be fun. But I thought about the story that I wanted to tell. Not really about a story for video or a story for YouTube or even a book, but the story of my life. What would be more interesting? And it's not always what's comfortable. It's not always what's expeditious. Sometimes you got to feel a little bit of discomfort and stretch a little bit and push yourself a little bit and get out of your comfort zone. And so I made that decision the morning I woke up in Tifton, Georgia, that I'm just gonna make that left turn and go west. I wanted to do it. I did it. I just focused on one day at a time. And here I am, and I'm happy I did. And then the adventure continues. Here I go, leaving Santa Fe. This is the route to Los Alamos. Beautiful view. Oh, this is the road to Los Alamos. And I'm gonna head to Four Corners today. That's the big goal for today. It's a beautiful day. Well, I believe this is Los Alamos, and the sign confirms it. Oppenheimer Drive. A lot of history in this place. So I left Los Alamos, and right now heading in the direction of Four Corners. The name says it all. It's the Four Corners of Colorado, 4 states, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. Yeah, I picked the Four Corners as a place to go to as another jumping off point for different routes and exploring this part of the country. No particular reason, no specific draw other than the geography. And it's a good location because depending on the weather and what I want to achieve, where the spirit is moving me, I could head into Utah or I could head into Colorado. So I was planning on going to Colorado, but it's pretty cold and rainy the last bunch of days, so I might go to the Four Corners and then ride to Mexican Hat in Utah tomorrow, and then head up to Moab and spend a few days in Utah, and then come across to Colorado. So I might flip it around a bit. Oh, look, a radio telescope up ahead. Oh, there's all these national monuments here that I'm just whizzing by. It's amazing how the scenery changes. Once I got to the New Mexico state line a couple days ago, you could tell everything just changed. Well, Bandelier National Monument. I have no clue what that is, and I just rode past it. Guess I could have done more research if that was my priority, but
It's about the riding for me more so, I think. The weather has been pretty brutal the last few days. I know it's a boring conversation. I keep talking about the weather, but it's like the heat and the rain and the cold and the rain and the dark skies. I know it comes with the territory, but I'm hoping for, at some point within the coming days, maybe some sun. Some cool temperatures and some sun and no rain. Not making a lot of progress this morning. The weather's been slowing me down. I'm going to put my gear on so I don't have to think about it anymore. Well, that was a serious rain. Boy, oh boy, just needed a break. I think the road's going to get a little hairy soon. By myself with a loaded bike. No fucking way. This is more than I bargained for. I think pavement is in 15 minutes. Oh, to the pavement. My boots will need a cleaning. Look at that. The bike too. Look at that. Well, I did it. I need a drink. I mean, not that kind of drink. It seems like I was on that road forever. But I just need a break before I get going. I don't know what to make of all that. It's not my thing. 55 years old on a big bike by myself, heavily loaded. Not my thing. You watch it on YouTube. I always had a huge respect for a lot of these world travelers who do all this crazy stuff. But I'm a pavement guy, even though I have a bike that looks like it goes off-road. That was pretty good. Happy I did it. I got to change the GPS setting to the avoidance unpaved roads, because I don't want to do that again. Take a break. The pavement's here. That's where the pavement began again. That was a lot tougher than I thought, especially with all the rain and the mud. But just pause and be thankful that I kept the bike upright in that, because it's too big and too heavily loaded for me to handle by myself picking it up. And I'd have to unload everything, and
I'm about a decade past wanting to do that. So I'm here now. It's not raining. There's a beautiful road ahead in New Mexico, and I'm gonna get going. Before I get going, there's one thing I need to do, and that is avoid unpaved roads the rest of the day, if not the rest of the trip. Mission accomplished. Got some gas. I'm about 32 miles from Four Corners Monument. So, whoa, look at this road. Jeez. Wavy gravy. What's today? I don't even know what today is. Today is Wednesday. Okay. Today is Wednesday. And I left Santa Fe, New Mexico. And it'll be over 2,200 miles by the time I get there. What happened is I decided to take New Mexico 126, which is a nice twisty road. And what I didn't realize was how much unpaved parts there were. And also, given that it had rained so much, there was an incredible amount of mud. As of last week, I just finished 3 PRP shots, the platelet-rich plasma therapy shots in my knee, which has helped a lot. So riding dirt roads, standing on the pegs, and potentially falling off was not something I wanted to risk. But I feel a tremendous sense of accomplishment for having done that. Been there, done that. I was contemplating my routes for the next coming days, and so I'm changing things up because I've been in so much rain and cold weather. My next step from here was going to go to ride the $1 Million Highway again, go to Durango, spend some time in Ouray, Telluride, the whole San Juan Scenic Byway loop, $1 Million Highway. But unfortunately, it's in the 30s, the high 30s to the 50s, and it's raining every day the next 3-4 days. And I think there's going to be some good weather probably, in about 4 or 5 days from now in Colorado. So after this, I'm going to head in the direction of Moab, Utah. I'm not quite sure exactly what my plan is. I got to stop in a hotel and figure it out tonight. But I'm not too far from Mexican Hat, so I could ride that and then go to Moab for a few nights. It's the weekend, so I got to see if I can even get a place to stay. Looking forward to getting to Four Corners soon. I don't think it's going to be anything incredibly profound, the site. I'm going to take some video, take some pictures, stand there, and then move on. It's just a place. Just another place to stop, something to do, something to pull me this far. Spectacular. Wow. Geography, the formations is just mind-boggling. Jeez. Millions of years to create this. Hundreds of millions. Leaving New Mexico. Arizona state line. Arizona. There it is, Four Corners Monument. Well, the sign at least. Oh, this is exciting. Look at this. 2,200 miles to stand at the boundary of 4 states. Of course, the monument is not the exact
Four Corners. I think it's like 1,000 feet or 1,000 meters away from where the monument is. It's kind of like where in Ecuador, mitad del mundo, you know, the equator. It's not really every hemisphere there. It's actually another location. But it's all right. It all has meaning. What's 1,000 feet after coming 2,200 miles? Now I'm back in New Mexico. I was New Mexico, Arizona, back in New Mexico, and I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Four Corners Monument. Oh, thank you. They're open. I think they're open for 45 more minutes. Park hours, 8 a.m. to something. Pretty cool. I think I have to pay a fee to get in. Navajo Nation, Four Corners Monument, Tribal Parks. $8 a person. Very reasonable. No drone zone. All right, here we are. Look at this. 2,219 miles. 2,219 miles. Wow. Parking, parking, parking. Four Corners. Let's check this out. Let me check out the monument. It's pretty cool. At the Four Corners National Monument. I'm delirious. It's crazy. New Mexico. Don't want to interfere with their picture. So once again, we got New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. Pretty cool. Let's see if I stand right in all four states at the same time. Definitely very cool. Chill out here and absorb the accomplishment and the beauty of the place. It's wonderful. Very grateful to be here. Oh, I said I was going to do it, and I did. I made it here. I feel very grateful to be here right now. Went through a lot the last bunch of days, well, especially today. But I'm here. Loving it. Big ride. Well, I was going to head in the direction of Cayenta, which is in the middle of nowhere on the way to Mexican Hat tomorrow. So that would take me west. I try to find some hotels in the area and everything's booked. I guess because everybody's going to Mexican Hat. So I either head in the direction maybe of Moab, but I think what I'll do is Cortez, Colorado is pretty close. So I'll go there and regroup and decide tomorrow what I'm going to do. Mission accomplished. Now, closest place is Cortez, Colorado. So that's what I'm going to do because I am hungry and I'm tired and it's late. As it is, I'm going to get in there almost 7 o'clock. Maybe there's a hotel on the way before then, but we shall see. Right down the block, I'm in Colorado. All right, let's do this. That was a long ride just to get to the corner. I think the big lesson I've learned is better to have no plans. Just go with the flow. It's good to have an idea, framework. I mean, I wouldn't know the options if I didn't do some quote-unquote planning, but I don't have to be tied to any specific plan. Each day I just kind of go with the flow and make decisions based on the circumstances on the ground and what moves me. What amazing scenery. There's so much uninhabited land in the United States. North America is just immense. The geology is just crazy. From palm trees in Florida to the plains in Oklahoma to the red rock in this part of the country. Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Mars or the moon, that's for sure, in this area. Well, this is something I couldn't see in North Carolina or on the East Coast, that's for sure. So, it's nice to have this new experience. I was out here a bunch of years ago. You know, I never say never, but I think I'm past riding my motorcycle across country from Florida out west. I think I've done it enough and put in those miles, so this might be the last time I do that. It doesn't mean I wouldn't fly here and rent a bike at some point, but I have to look at it as an opportunity, and so to appreciate and enjoy it now. But yeah, I've gone across country enough. I'm in Cortez, and I just got a whiff of weed. Welcome to Colorado. Quite commercial, this area, but I just want a room and some food. Oh, this main street looks nice. Hotels. Oh, a bunch of bikers. First time today. Nice little town. Ouray. I wonder if they have Uber around here. Oh, there's the Best Western. Oh, it was a nice stay here in Cortez. Met a bunch of guys from Indiana. A really nice group. I'm off. 10:06. Late start, but posed the bike off a little bit, took my time, let the temperature climb about 15 degrees. 15 degrees? Yeah, about 15 degrees or more. So, well worth taking my time. Plus, I just needed to. It's a cool little town. Maybe I'll be back here on the way, passing through when I ride. I think it's called the San Juan Scenic Byway, which is the $1 million highway is part of that. The ritual of packing and unpacking, and charging, and media backups, and journaling, and a lot of it is fun, but it's a lot of work. It's not something I should be doing every day. I kind of have to do it every other day, or I need a day off to catch up and not feel like I have to rush it. But anyway, that's part of the fun. Just happy it's a sunny day, and I'm looking forward to seeing something new today. The plan is right now Monument Valley, Mexican Hat, and then off to Moab, or maybe stop before there. I was looking at hotels in Moab. I'd like to spend a couple nights there, but everything is so expensive. I mean, it's Moab. But, anyway, we shall see. Oh, the beautiful morning. Just spectacular. Retracing some of my route yesterday, I'll probably pass by Four Corners on my way to Kayenta, Arizona, which is a good entry point, the southern entry point to Monument Valley, from Arizona into Utah, Mexican Hat, to Bluff. And then I'll Moab it. And I'll regroup and see about maybe visiting some of the routes that I did 5 years ago. Wow, a long time. There's very cool rock formations. I'm sure today is going to be some massive splendor in Monument Valley. I've only seen pictures, I haven't been there, so pretty excited to check it out. Always amazed at the geography and the geology in this area. I listen to so much good music on the interstate and up here. In this, you don't need any entertainment. You could just enjoy the ride. But having said that, a little bit of Jackson Browne seems appropriate this morning. From Colorado back into New Mexico, on the way to Arizona, 6 miles from Four Corners again. Here are some words for this part of the country to look up. Hoodoo, Mesa, and Butte. Time for me to Google those words and see in the video if you could find a hoodoo, a Mesa, a Butte. Oh, whoa, some serious lightning up ahead. Where is this boat going? It seems like this whole trip, it's all about dealing with weather issues. Mother Nature is amazing. Look at this. Rain, sun, crazy geology, vast distances, and the rain found me. Whoa, serious lightning. Could smell the wet air. Temperature dropped a few degrees.
I made a quick decision to keep pushing forward. Not knowing how long the storm would stall over Monument Valley, there was a chance I could break through it. Rain gear on, and I was off. The wind was kicking up and the dark clouds were closing in. I turned north. There was Monument Valley, and there was the rain. Pelting rain once again. With the otherworldly view of the red rock mega formations on the horizon, it was an ominous sight. Not the typical sunny Instagram view of Monument Valley, but a powerful experience. I was focused on just being there. It was an amazing contrast to see the encroaching storm coming from the south and the sun-drenched sky in the north. Monument Valley was not the background to my experience. It was the foreground, an expression of creation, and I was just a passing bit, a fleeting thing, just for an instance of time. As I moved toward the sun, I was leaving one world for another. Stopping on the side of the road and looking south, there was Monument Valley, contrasted against a backdrop of black sky. It was truly a bold statement of Mother Nature.
That's some crazy weather I just came through. Feels like I'm on the front end of it now. Keep pushing forward.
The aspect that I recognized in myself was that I carried that stillness, that calmness, and easy breathing through it all, through all those miles. There was peace in the place, and there was peace in me. I was approaching the Forrest Gump scenic viewing point. A bit down the road, past the crowd that was stopped for pictures, I pulled over for the view.
What an amazing country. Amazing place. Well, I'm in Monument Valley in Utah. Pretty cool.
I appreciated that I was there and felt gratitude for that moment. I stood by the side of the road gazing at another act of creation.
Whoa, look at that. Look at that. There's Tom Hanks. Whoa.
I fixated my gaze down the road. It was obvious why that scene in the Forrest Gump movie was so epic. Monument Valley to the south and the long road leading you there. What to say but epic.
I'm here in Monument Valley. This is the famous site where all the people are over there where Forrest Gump did the movie and turned around, I guess. Pretty cool. I can't believe it. It's so beautiful. Wow.
For that instance, I was part of the place, connected in that moment. I didn't try to make the feeling last. I stood there without thought of when my next breath would come and go, without thought of anything. I was in the moment, timeless, until the thought came. It was time to go.
Close to Mexican Hat.
I throttled on in the direction of Moab, past Mexican Hat, road construction, and onto higher elevations in Utah. More so on this trip than others, I didn't feel the need to be constantly moving. Possibly it was because I had been in this area before and had explored the great roads and sites. More likely, it had to do with my changing motivations. It was that desire to just be and maybe not do or go as much. There were times when I simply wanted to hang out and other times when twisting the throttle was the goal. Two hours of riding, I arrived in Moab, an oasis in the otherwise Martian landscape.
Well, I'm in Moab. I'm going to stay here for 2 nights and rest up tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to ride or not, but we'll see. Well, I just had an amazing dinner, treated myself to some elevated dining in Moab. It was awesome. Met some interesting people, had some wonderful food, took a walk around Moab. It's really happening. Temperature dropped this evening, not too bad. It's so comfortable. Picked up $5 in quarters. The first time I've had this much change in my hand, my pocket in years, so I could do a laundry tomorrow. Anyway, it's great to be here in Moab. I'm going to take a couple days, double overnight here tomorrow. Don't know if I'll ride. I might just spend the day writing and exercising and doing laundries and looking at pictures for the last week and planning next week or the next couple days to come. But it's a beautiful evening in Moab, Utah, and I'm grateful to be here. Well, morning in Moab, breakfast time, a day off the bike, going to do some writing and going to go ahead and exercise and do laundry, chill out and plan my routes for the next few days. Boy, did I need a day off the bike just to catch up. This is what a day off the road, a so-called rest day, looks like. Just strolling down the streets of Moab, spent the whole day writing, laundry, and gym, and I have no clue where I'm going tomorrow. Maybe I'll stay another day here, the same hotel. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I'm just gonna have dinner and think about it. It's really been a wonderful day off the bike because I got a lot done writing. It's become such an integral part of my travels. That's part of the adventure, so I really do enjoy the journaling aspect. All is good. And it's been a wonderful trip so far. This is the first day of week 2. I'm going to go to Arches National Park. I had to get a reservation, so that therefore the late start, I could only get 11 a.m. for entry, 11 to 12. Okay, look at this setup. I got 1, 2, 3 cameras, and I'm going to go get some gas and go to Arches and play around with some video stuff today. All right, going to go find some fuel now. Oh, this is Main Street in Moab, and Arches is only about 7 minutes away at the entrance, but I can't enter till 11. That's when my reservation is. A few minutes from Arches. Well, the entrance to Arches, and 9 minutes early, and the line definitely looks more than 9 minutes. It's the national parks have become incredibly crowded, which, as I've talked about in the past, is a good thing that people are visiting, but it's also an unfortunate thing of the fact that it's so crowded. But I guess that's why they're doing these reservations. And the little bit of the Disneylandification. This is all by reservation, and there's still a big line. Well, that took a while to get through the line. I had to make a quick pit stop at the visitor center. And here we are, finally. Let's get some elevation and some cool air. Oh boy. Amazing. Let's see how many miles to get here. 25:49. All right, enjoying the ride. Look at that. Get up this to the top of this first overlook. All sweaty, but I feel the cool air flowing through the jacket. It's wonderful. That park's crowded. I'm not in a rush to go anywhere today, so it's good that I'm staying in Moab for another day, another evening, because no, I just take my time here. There's no pressure to try and boogie to some other destination, which is cool, and I didn't have to pack everything up. Not that there's that much to pack anyway, but what a spectacular view. I guess it's good that they stage it out. I can't imagine the traffic. Wow, look at that line down there. I can't imagine the traffic if they didn't have reservations. But last time I was at Arches, I didn't have this kind of issue. I came earlier, but Canyonlands definitely, and Rocky Mountain National Park. So the national parks are always crowded. It's good. People are out in nature. It's a wonderful thing. Well, we have to make our way a bit more down the road before we start to see the geology that gives its park its name. Nice, there's a fair number of overlooks, which spaces out the traffic. Obviously, I'm not doing any hiking in this gear with the motorcycle, but I know I miss out on really so much of what the park has to offer. But hey, another trip. Wow. It's mind-blowing. like I want to get out of the helmet and take my sunglasses off to really, if my eyes could have just fully grasped what I'm seeing. Well, I'm definitely happy I came through and waited online. Even though I was here 5 years ago in May when I took that big trip where I spent 50 days on the road when I turned 50 years old. That was a surreal experience, making it here. And this is as well. I wish I could look at the pamphlet and know the names of everything. I'll call that one 3 Dudes Looking Forward. Oh boy. I can't come to terms with what to record and what not to record. Everything, the grandeur is amazing. But what am I going to have? Hundreds of gigabytes of red rock formations, even though it's amazingly beautiful.
Arches National Park is beautiful. I had to stop because the GoPro locked up for a change. Such crap. Anyway, it's always locking up. Aside from that, it's an amazing place to be. Just to be here now, it's wonderful. Over 2,500 miles from home. It's nice just to take my time. There's sagebrush. Amazing geology. Miles and miles and miles of vast awesomeness.
Balanced rock. There's a lot of interesting overlooks and side roads to take off the paved road here. Check out this view. It's really a challenge just to conceptualize that landscape. You know, to look at it and say, oh my goodness, is that even real? You just want to reach out and touch it. Man, I'm gonna have like a terabyte of video when I get back. I mean, I just want to keep taking pictures. Let the video run. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this. Oh, there's an arch. Which arch is that? There's an opening and an arch there. Aha, the windows. Look at the people in there hiking up. That's pretty awesome. These journeys have definitely evolved for me. When I started taking longer motorcycle trips, it's always been about the travel, but also the love of motorcycling and also seeing new places. And on that 50-50 journey, it was about just fundamentally wanting to connect with people, places, and my higher self. A spiritual pilgrimage, you know, a practice of being in the moment and being still and awakening to, you know, being connected. So connected with nature and life and being grateful. And it's still all of that. And on that journey, I started journaling and writing, and that became a passion. And then as a side thing, I just took video on that trip, and I started making some videos up on YouTube, you know, just for fun and learning about editing, and that became a passion. So the reason to take these journey has evolved. Fundamentally, it's still about travel and connecting with people and places and my higher self. But it's also about these other things, you know, being on the road, sometimes struggling a little bit, growing in many ways. And I really enjoy the writing. I feel like doing that is a way to really solidify the experience in my long-term memory to the extent that you can. You can't hold on to any moment, but writing the day of or within a day of, it really gives you the opportunity to capture your experiences and to contemplate what it means. And hey, that's easier to do when you're close to the original experience than a month or two later. So writing is, it's also a form of gratitude, because at the end of the day when I journal, it's like, yeah, man, I'm really thinking about what I did today. Whoa, look at that, what I did. Wow. Oh, wow, what was I feeling? What was I thinking? It's one thing to record it on video in the moment. I mean, that's fun and it's cool and it kind of captures a bunch of things. But when you write it down, for me, when you journal, it really forces me to pause a bit and to really, really be in that experience again and relive it and derive some feeling, emotion from it. Oh, look at this scenery. More arches. Arches National Park. Skyline Arch, ladies and gentlemen. Skyline Arch. A lot of people in the park today enjoying it. What a perfect day. Just be chilling out in the park today, cruising around, momentarily dreaming about some barbecue and beer later, which I will make happen. The vast, expansive, alien landscape. I know this is planet Earth, but it does have that otherworldly look to it, that's for sure. And I don't think that's just because, I mean, my goodness, look at that space. You know, our lives are just a split freaking second in the life of these mountains. I know I'm not experiencing the park in the other way and really just taking the time to be off the bike. But hey, not that kind of trip. I get to make the rules for my trip. No rules. Well, we did the full paved length. I think there's only paved routes in Arches, unlike Canyon Labs. There's a lot of unpaved riding you could do in there. Just want to kind of absorb the beauty of it all. Motorcycle people. What can I say? Just got to absorb it all. The ideas and implementation of the national park system is just so important. Preservation of these incredible, wondrous reminders of creation. How do you describe this place? I don't think you can. Just gotta, words fail. You'd think I'd remember to stop and just chill out for a little bit, but I don't know, I just keep moving through the landscape. Finally pulled over for a break. It's an amazing ride. Great morning, afternoon. Outrageous. I just really have to pause to remind myself that I came all this way. I'm here. I can't even keep track of the days already. I know it's Saturday,
And so this is the second day of week 2. Every day blurs into the other. It's great.
Head back into Moab. Out of a skier. Just a little bit of a short ride today. Where the heck I'm going tomorrow, and I think I gotta book a hotel in advance this time because Colorado, especially places like Ouray and that area, are booked solid. I think I want a destination before I take off, so I'll do that. I do know this is a beautiful freaking view right here now. That's what I do know. Even the cold. Well, archers, it's been fun. Happy I spent the time to hang out here. Good destination. You know, Utah is a wonderful state to just be on the road. There's long distances and there's so much to see. But you know, I've done that, and I think I want to spend a little bit more time in Colorado. And then I am getting it in my mind to stop in North Carolina, western North Carolina, in the mountains around Smoky Mountain National Park. I was in the park for a little over 2 hours. Went fast. Still a big line to get in. Now in my head, I just hear the word beer, 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 barbecue, beer, beer, barbecue. I think I'm singularly focused. Beer and barbecue. Short ride back to Moab. Not feeling any pressure to check anything off the box, to run to Canyonlands or run here or there. I've seen these places and it'd be great to go back, but you know, doing my thing. And back in Moab. Moab. Back at the hotel.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Brisket, pulled pork, beans, and a beer. It's hot out, and I'm inside. Had a nice ride this morning. Now I'm chilling out. Beer time. Well, I just had breakfast, and it's a beautiful day in Moab. I'm going to get out of here within the hour, or thereabouts, depending on how long it takes for me to get the bike situated. And I'm going to head in the direction of Colorado and go to Ouray. So I was going to redo a lot of Utah, but the parks were crowded, and you know, so I was thinking more like, let me go explore the forests and mountains of Colorado and get away from the crowds and see how that goes. Well, a late start, but I'm getting out and I'm going to head to Colorado. And the bike's all packed. 3 nights here in Moab was a really good decision. But I'm looking forward to some green forests, rivers, mountains, and a new scene a few hours away.
Well, it's day 10 on the road, and head out of Moab, figure out the direction I'm going in. It's good to be on the bike heading to another place. Sometimes the packing and unpacking can be a disincentive to move on too quickly, but there's something special about the newness of going somewhere else. There's so much on the menu of great roads and awesome riding in Utah and this part of the country. I mean, I could spend a few weeks just in Utah, but you have to make choices. I just turned onto 46, the Sal Forest, on the way to Nantahala, Colorado, another 54 miles now. Just a few miles down the road and the terrain is already changing. Mountains, green, getting closer to the Colorado border. It's going to even change more. The sign I just passed said Monte La Salle National Forest. The beauty of the landscape is so distracting. I gotta pay attention to the road. Up and down the mountain. Nice little route. It's a pretty nice ride. Sometimes it's just awesome to be moving through cool landscape. The road doesn't have to be the Grand Prix, MotoGP. It'd be fun. I'd like to turn the video camera off, but I'm not taking my hands off to do that. Just let this file build up. It'll be a few gigabytes. Well, I had to pull over for the customary shot of the Welcome to Colorado sign. So I'll take a picture and keep moving. Well, it didn't take too long for me to realize why I was anxious to get to Colorado, and I made that choice to not spend too much more time in Utah. This was the kind of riding and the scenery I was longing for. To move through this landscape, the elevation changes, the road, the colors. It sure is colorful Colorado. So I think I'm going to play in Colorado for the foreseeable future. It's just, spectacular is an overused word. It's just a joyful place to be right now for me. A lot of fun. The weather's great. The road's interesting. The landscape is wild. And there's no shortage of choices of roads and places. So it's going to take it one day at a time. Plus, there's a lot to see. Onto the open range. Woo-hoo! Look at that road in the distance. Wow. Where is everybody? Look where I am. It's wild. I'm just here, right now. I'm 46 in Colorado, on the way to Narita and Ridgeway and Ouray. But I'm here. Look at this road. Look at this terrain. How did I get here? Why am I here? All by myself, moving through time and space. Revving the motorcycle, cool air, beautiful sky. What a moment. Straight line. Now look at this road. 145 on the way to Ridgeway. Parked right in the side of the mountain. Oh, it was 7,000 feet. I didn't realize we've climbed. You gotta wake up after like that long stretch of straightaway. Going into the curves now. Gotta get in the game. Riding along the San Miguel River now. And the Colorado riding does not disappoint. I just saw a sign for the San Juan Skyway, so I think this is part of the loop, top of the loop, but it's the San Juan Skyway Scenic Byway, and I'll have to get the exact number of miles. It's like 235 or something of that order. And a portion of that is the $1 Million Highway. The elevation changes in Colorado at times are very subtle. It's all of a sudden the temperature drops in short, over time, maybe 6 degrees or more, 5 degrees. And then you find yourself, you look at the elevation, it's like, whoa, I've been climbing and you didn't even realize it. Right now I'm at over 8,100 feet. And I'm coming into Ridgeway down below. Gas up, I'm about 15 minutes or so from Ouray. Oh, looks like some shops down there. Mountain Market, Park. Cool little place. Fueling up in Ridgeway. Well, a quick pit stop in Ridgeway, and now I'm gonna head south on 550, I'm on 550 south, leaving Ridgeway, heading to Ouray. Now this is a view. 3 hours from Moab to here roughly, and things change quite dramatically. I was looking forward to it. And here, in San Juan Mountains, it's mind-blowing. Beautiful valley in the midst of all these mountain peaks. They say Ouray is the Switzerland of Colorado. I don't know how I feel about all these comparisons of one place to another, but anyway, Switzerland of Colorado. Let's check it out. It looks nice here. Does this remind me of the Lontaburn Valley out of Interlaken? I don't know. Oh, pulling into Ouray, hot springs. I'd like to find a place to stay somewhere in the town so I don't have to walk. See, oh wow, look at that pool. Oh man, lap swimming going on. Wait a minute. Ouray Hot Springs Pool and Fitness Center now. That would be interesting. Got my goggles with me. What a beautiful town. Wow. Bar, grill, and pizzeria. Oh man, look at all these motorcycles. Aggie's Kitchen, the best burger in town. Where to begin here? Jeez. Maybe I should just find a place to stay. Man, very crowded. Very crowded. Matterhorn Inn, vacancy. That might be the place for me to check out down that block. All right, time to turn around. Oh, I stopped at the Matterhorn Inn. Let's see what they got going here. It looks like a nice place. Well, here I am in Ouray, Matterhorn Inn. I got a room. I'm gonna go unload the bike and change and go have some lunch. It was a short day, about 3.5 hours on the bike, but some wonderful riding. And I'm gonna explore the town a little bit. It's really cool little place to stay. 2 nights, possibly 3. Pretty excited to be here. It was on my list of places I wanted to hang out, and the town looks very cool, so I'm gonna get unpacked and check it out. We got the room farthest away in the corner, but three flights of stairs. Look at that view. Got the rest of the stuff. I think there's one paved street here. The rest are dirt roads. It's the main street. Wow, look at the brewery. It's packed up there. That's where I'd like to go. This burger and beer are nuts. So good. Well, that was an amazing burger and beer at the Ouray Brewery. I haven't stopped here before, so this is the first time, but I'm looking forward to spending a couple nights here. Ouray, Colorado. It's a great ride from Moab today. Short ride. It took about 3 hours, but 150 some odd miles, so not a long day on the bike, but it gives me time to have a nice lunch. Found a room for a couple nights, had a really awesome burger and a beer, and now I could explore this area a little bit. Just the town, the one paved road. I keep getting it wrong. It's the San Juan Skyway Scenic Byway. So maybe I'll do that loop tomorrow. It's a long loop. It's like 5.5 hours to do the whole loop. So I'll see if I want to do the whole thing or just ride the $1 Million Highway down from Ouray to Durango and back on the same road. That could be fine too and fun. A cool little town. Cool vibes. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Motorcycle heaven. Pretty good location to do some work today. This is my afternoon office. Check it out. Pretty cool. Pizza Hut time. Walk to breakfast. It's crisp morning in Ouray. Leisurely day riding today. Ride the $1 Million Highway up and back, I think, instead of a big loop. Feeling the altitude a little bit. Or maybe that's the huge omelet I just threw down with 2 cups of coffee. spent 2 nights in Ouray, but I'm just heading out now. I'm going to ride the $1 Million Highway both ways. So I'm heading to Silverton and Durango and then back. Those clouds don't look too pretty, but hopefully in the mountains, you know, you never know which way that the storm's going. So let's see where we end up today. 550 south, 13 miles to Red Summit Mountain. Well, I speak the truth. This is fun. It should be a nice leisurely ride to Silverton and then Durango. I'll see if I go the whole way to Durango or not. Gotta see what the weather and the road has in store. But I think the nicest part of this route is between Ouray and Silverton. And I would have preferred it to be sunny out. Fuck. No, I looked at the weather forecast. It said rain after 2, so I thought I had most of the day to explore, but hey, I'm gonna keep going. A cool little water runoff there. Doesn't seem to be an opportunity to pass this SUV, but I'm in no rush anyway. Wow. Now, what are the chances the rain gear is coming out today? Pretty high, unfortunately. Sounds like Debbie the Downer, Saturday Night Live. Wah, wah. So the sky in the direction of Ouray that I'm coming from is wonderful. The sky in the direction of Silverton and Durango is different. So I'm going to keep going, obviously. A beautiful, serene road, that's for sure. Wonderful. Wonder what that helicopter's doing up there. They have a drop bucket or something. Maybe they're doing some kind of rescue. Hopefully it's just a drill. Whoa, holy moly, definitely something happened up there. That's what that helicopter was. Oh boy. Okay, how are you? There's that helicopter. You could see the cable dangling, so wonder if they're doing some rescue or something. Well, they've been transferring material, that someone said, for 45 minutes. It was supposed to only be a half hour, so I think I'm going to turn around and just ride in the other direction and maybe just go to Telluride and back. I don't know. that might be an option. I don't need to, I came all this way for the $1 Million Highway, but guess I don't need to spend the day sitting in traffic waiting for that to happen. I'll go back the other way, and sky's clearer. Maybe I'll go to Telluride through the other way. They said they're transferring material to some work site. It was only going to be a half hour. Someone said they've already been waiting 45 minutes. So maybe they're getting close to finishing, but sky's clearer there for me, so have a good one. Well, it looks pretty bad, but I can't tell. You know, in the mountains, you don't know where it's raining. So have a good day. And here comes the rain. Oh well. All prepped and ready to go, and hey, it's cool. Plans change. There's a lot of traffic on this road today, and with that backup, it's unfortunate I've come all this way, but to ride in traffic, just not vibing it. Just not vibing it today. Maybe the fact that I don't have to get somewhere, maybe that's the downside of staying in one place. Is that like I could, turn around, I don't have to push forward. Whereas if I was going in that direction, I would have just kept going. Rock slide, I would have just kept going. But it's neither here nor there. What a great route coming up from Ouray. Would have been nice to get to Silverton, but hey, it's my call. Turn on the heated grips a little bit. It's a bit chilly. Yeah, when you're staying in one place, there's a lot of options, and then no options, because just gravitate to figuring your way back to home base. So it's like, all right, as opposed to if you're going somewhere else, it's wide open because you could change your destination. Beautiful. I'll stop when I get past Ouray and plug in Telluride and see about heading over there, maybe check the weather. I want to stop recording, but I ain't taking my hands off and my eyes off the road, so video cameras can be a bit stressful. bit of yucky weather today, and the road closed to Silverton for a while, so I headed back to the hotel. It's raining, windy. I'm gonna check the weather and see if it clears up. I'll go to Telluride. It doesn't sound like clearing up. So since I don't have to go to another hotel, I could just route plan, journal, and beer and a burger later, and just chill out. Well, a right decision to be back at the hotel and just chill out of the rain. I'm gonna just do some route planning today, play with some media, have lunch and beer, and figure out the rest of the trip. Riding in 50 degrees and rain is a little bit old, so I don't have to do it. And I'm not going to today. Last day in Ouray. Well, actually last morning, going to have breakfast. I'm gonna head up 550 past Montrose, then go east towards Almont and over the Cottonwood Pass. It's a long route. I don't think I'll actually get that far today. I don't know if this camera is gonna actually capture how amazing it is here. I just had a great breakfast. Now I'm gonna go get the bike packed up and all my gear situated and start heading north. It's pretty cold, still in the 40s. The weather on this trip is all over the place, but comes with the territory. Well, this is day 12 in Ouray. Another day and a half, 2 days of riding in Colorado, then I'll be on I-70 heading east towards North Carolina and home. It's pretty chilly today, 42 degrees, but the sun's out for now, so I'm positive about that. And bike's ready to go. I'm ready to go. Time to get moving. And I just left Ouray. I'm heading north on 550 towards Montrose. The plan is to make an easterly turn in about 30 miles. I'll go over Cottonwood Pass between Almont and Buena Vista. And at some point tomorrow, I'll jump on I-70 heading east. I set myself a destination of getting to the mountains in North Carolina as a reward for crossing the country, and spend some time in the forest and see if I could catch a glimpse of the changing of the leaves. It might be a little early. I'm happy the bike's all packed and I love getting on the bike. It's the unpacking and packing up again that takes a bunch of time, but very methodical and becomes your ritual. It's almost like a spiritual practice, you know, you just kind of take your time and go through it, focused on what you're doing, no thoughts. So in that way, it's a good thing. A brief construction stop. This is Montrose. Area. So I'm on 50. US 50 heading east, and I keep seeing signs about possible closures of the road. Expect 1 to 2 hour delays because of construction. I don't know, I guess I'm going to take a chance back into the vast Colorado landscape. Oh, this is a beautiful U.S. highway cutting across the middle of the state. Pretty awesome scenery. Some construction up here. Hopefully there won't be too many delays. And here we are. It's a short hold up. So we'll see. Stand up. The guy holding the stop sign up, so it doesn't look like it's going to be, hopefully not a very long closure. I didn't anticipate all these construction traffic stops on these roads, so chances are there's going to be a bunch of delays today. I don't know. I guess it just comes with the territory in certain areas. There's a lot of construction in the summer. What choice do I have? It's not like there's multiple routes right here. I'd have to backtrack pretty significantly. Well, miles and miles and miles of cars waiting. Been here almost 30 minutes. And moving. Oh well. Long procession through construction. Well, now the GPS is telling me it's an hour and a half delay. Aha! And there's the end in sight where the road opens up and the other cars are waiting. Lake Fork. Flat Canyon National Park. Look at that. It's a Blue Mesa Reservoir. The scenery is beautiful and the ride is nice. I think this area is called Conti National Recreation Area. Nice relaxing ride even though there are a lot of cars. The weather's beautiful, the scenery's great. 16 miles or so I should be getting close to Cottonwood Pass, which I believe takes you up to 12,000 feet and crosses the Continental Divide. We'll find out. This really is a beautiful, beautiful road. I'm not in any rush, so I don't mind the pace car in front of me, the pickup truck. Take my time and enjoy the scenery as well. I like this road. Just kind of flowing along this beautiful meadow. Awesome. Oh, there's a sign there. I could have looked. Oh. I always figure out the stopping point after I've passed it. Then I'm like a shark. I got to keep swimming. Well, it looked like it rained here already, so I don't know if I'm following the rain or it passed over me, but this is one heck of a beautiful route, that's for sure. I'm just going to take my time and enjoy the incredible scenery. This is definitely the last Colorado hurrah, probably this route right here, so I'm just going to dig it. When you're traversing the mountain, it's so hard to figure out you're moving in or out of it. Well, I'm moving in and out of the rain. I figured it out just now. I'm moving in the rain. Oh, it's raining bad up ahead. Oh boy. Kiara's gonna come on over here. That's for sure. I don't want to drive with this level of insecurity about just getting rained on. And I'm wet, but the gear is on, and that's the direction I'm going in, so not much of a choice. Highest elevation point, the coldest and the wettest now. Oh well, so I got the gear. wet hands and gloves is a little bit of a challenge.
The last 11 days saw tough weather and extremes. There was lots of rain and huge temperature swings. My rain gear had seen more of the road on this trip so far than on any other. To summarize the impact of the weather on this journey, the word trying might be too light and the word brutal too much of an exaggeration. It was somewhere in between those two. Choice or fate, free will or destiny, it didn't matter. The momentum of the little and big events of the day were producing a gravity that moved me along a different path. The riding on this day and the planned route versus the actual route were divergent. It was a good metaphor for life, free will or destiny. No matter the conclusion, acceptance of it all ultimately was the answer. Small and big lessons of the importance of being in the moment, recognizing the isness without resistance, and just moving forward was what the road and the weather were educating me on. The road was my guru, and I was paying attention. I was finding my bliss. I was twisting my way in the direction of the pass and the all too familiar dark mountain Mordor clouds, a scene from a Tolkien novel. But was that where I was going? Yes. Not too far up the road, I turned in the direction of the pass. I believe it was 209 and then 306. The numbers don't matter. The rain kept coming, the visibility was poor, and I was climbing in elevation. The temperature was dropping fast. The price to be paid was small. A day of construction delays, the ride in the rain, the near freezing temperature, and the altitude, along with many hours on the road, were the price of admission. The weather arrived to challenge the ascent. Accompanying me on the ride up was lots of rain and a temperature of 39 degrees, as well as a foggy helmet shield, but I got to the top. I paused at the summit long enough to appreciate the views on both sides of the Continental Divide and to feel the altitude at over 12,000 feet.
Cottonwood Pass, Continental Divide, Atlantic Ocean, San Isabel, Pacific Ocean, Gunnison.
I was off the bike. I had layers of gear on which made me feel like I had landed on another planet. I was standing at 12,126 feet. My eyes were tracking from the sign that designated the Continental Divide and Cottonwood Pass to both sides of the expanse.
And there it is. Cottonwood Pass, Continental Divide.
My eyes took in the long road I traveled and then moved in the direction of where I was going.
Wow, 12,000 feet, I could feel it. Time to make my way down slowly. Boy, what a day, what a view. Crazy, it was beautiful riding all day, but coming up Cottonwood Pass, it's been really, really rough. So, well, I'm not too far from Buena Vista. It's over 12,000 feet. I could feel the altitude, big time. Time to make my way down, slowly, to warmer weather, and hopefully no more rain. 12,110 feet. Wow.
It was a moment to breathe, maybe reflect a bit, but mainly just to be. I was still and the cold air filled my lungs. From that inward sensation in my nostrils as I drew in the air, to that outward flow, and then again. I was still. It was something different than just resting at the top after a long ride. It was another moment outside time and space. The eternal moment between life and death, where you are nothing and everything at the same time. I was connected to it all. The words grateful or bliss, or any chain of countless synonyms, would have to work hard to communicate what I felt. And then the thought came, it was time to get going. I arrived in Buena Vista, a quaint mountain town, which as the name says, good views. It was late, I was tired, and the weather in all directions was bleak. It wasn't just rain, but the storms that could produce severe conditions. Which way to go? The remainder of my route for the day and tomorrow were going to have to change. I felt that I was near done battling the elements if I didn't have to.
This is an interesting point of reference. I asked the GPS to calculate how far away from home I am, and it's 2,095 miles, 32 hours of riding. I want to go to North Carolina, and it is 1,453 miles, 23 hours of riding. Sounds about right.
I picked what appeared to be the path of least resistance and headed in the direction of Breckenridge and Idaho Springs. Several miles down the road, I was getting alerts for flood warnings and the sky grew darker. The wind and the rain came. I pulled to the side of the road to contemplate what to do. The opposite direction was Colorado Springs, and I could connect to I-70 from there tomorrow as well. A U-turn and throttling away from one storm for another, a decision that was made in the moment. I was saying goodbye to Colorado sooner than expected. It was more than a U-turn on the last leg of the day's route. It was my Four Corners U-turn. I was going with the flow, letting plans slip away for new ones and letting the adventure unfold. It was an act of acceptance. Acceptance of what Mother Nature had offered up, of road construction, and of evolving motivations. I was poised to move in a new direction. The gravity of Four Corners got me there, and now there was a new force moving me east. The land of the noonday sun, Nantahala. That's what was calling me. I felt good about my decision to head east. The day was rough and the route rugged. My exploration of that area and my curiosity was satisfied, at least for this trip. There was a gravity pulling me east that was calling. It was time. It had been rough, rugged, and in some way it was enough. It was time to move on, and that was exactly what I was doing. I was 60 miles from the interstate and would have another couple of days to contemplate a North Carolina finale in the mountains. Well, I'm leaving Colorado Springs, and I'm about 60 miles from 70, the interstate, to head east. So I'm gonna start crossing the country. It's about 1,400 miles to the mountains of North Carolina, over 2,000 home. So I'm most likely gonna stop in North Carolina for a few days to enjoy some more twisties, the lush green forests there in the mountains, maybe catch some changing of the leaves, although it might be a bit early. So I'm looking forward to getting in the zone on the motorcycle on the interstate. Just gonna be still at 80 miles an hour and make my way east. Time to get going. Probably spend the next 3 to 5 days. 3 days getting there, maybe 3.5, and then see if I'm going the right way. 3 days getting there and a couple days riding around. So let's go get some gas in Colorado Springs. Well, I'm gassed up and ready to go. It's amazing. Yesterday was such a hard ride. I was ready just to get my motorcycle into the garage at home back in Florida and call it a day, even though I had thousands of miles to go. And today, the sun is shining. The temperature's great. So it's awesome to be on the bike and have a plan and a destination. And I'm just going to settle in for the hundreds and hundreds of miles ahead of me before I get to someplace more familiar. Look at that sky. Just beautiful sky blue. Now the road is straight for the next 61 miles and then it's interstate. No exaggeration, the rain gear was on at least 10 of the 13 days. Four Corners pulled me out here, and now I'm feeling the pull of North Carolina and something different.
I'm within less than 2.5 miles of the interstate, 1,287 miles to western North Carolina, 20 more hours plus to go. There's only one direction to go in, and that's east. And I-70 east. Here we go. Hundreds and hundreds of miles on one road. I don't even have a waypoint plugged in, just North Carolina. So I'll figure it out as I go. I needed that pit stop. Back on the highway, the temperature's heating up. Took off a layer, and here I go. Flatness. Just east. This is the first turn, slight bend in the road, in dozens of miles, just buzzing along. Well, I just left colorful Colorado, and there should be a Kansas sign coming up any second. And there goes the Kansas sign. Here comes it, and there goes it. Whoa, look at that crosswind. That was crazy. All right, Subway's in Kansas for lunch. Took a nice long break in the air conditioning, lunch, cleaned all the bugs off the shield of the helmet. We'll see how long that lasts as I cross these high plains with all this farmland. All the vents in my jacket are open. It's 87 degrees, 48-degree swing. Yesterday afternoon it was 39 degrees, raining at the top of Cottonwood Pass. Up and down that pass it was that cold and wet. 1,172 miles to Fontana Village in North Carolina, and the Moonshiner 28. And it's not about putting the miles, just putting miles on and sitting for hours. It's the weather, battling the cold, the heat, the rain, the sun. So what's it like on I-70 right now? Well, it smells like hot shit. It's a combination of the fertilizer and all the fields and the heat. Hot shit. It's stinky. It's hot. It's a straight line. Hot shit. Time for the weather report. Time for that weather report. Oh, back to 92. It was 94 for a while. Oh joy. Oh joy. 95 degrees. Now I'm behind the cattle truck. Hot shit, hot shit. Oh my God. What the fuck? Hot shit. Oh. Oh my goodness. Fucking crazy. 95 and hot shit. Hamburger. Hamburger. Oh, I don't want to be hamburger. Oh man. Oh. 366 miles into this ride. I lost an hour today going from west to east and crossing the plains of Kansas. All right, well, I'm gonna get off here in Junction City, Kansas. I'm here in Junction City, Kansas, 450 plus miles today, 900 more to go to Nantahala Forest in North Carolina. And I'm gonna go check in out of this sweaty gear and find something to eat. I'm walking to get some dinner. No freaking sidewalks here.
Really weird to hang out.
Found a Mexican place that's packed in the middle of nowhere. Still working. I'm getting the bike ready. I'm in Junction City, Kansas. Came from Colorado Springs yesterday. And today I'm heading in the direction of Nashville. Don't know if I'll get all the way there just yet. Setting up the GPS now today. But tomorrow, my goal is by the end of day tomorrow to be in by Fontana Village. So that's the goal. If it goes another day or so, that's cool also. Just gonna take my time and buzz on the interstate. Boom. Gas break and a banana from the hotel. I just went through Kansas City, Kansas, which becomes Kansas City, Missouri. Not too far down the road from there, heading in the direction of St. Louis, Missouri. It's the next big milestone. Buzzing along on the interstate. I know there's so much to explore in these places if I just get away from the interstate, but I don't know, I just don't have the desire. No, maybe that's my shortcoming, traveling too fast. Maybe it's my strong desire to get to a place familiar, which is North Carolina, closer to home. Whatever it is, I just gotta go with what I'm feeling, and I don't have the inclination to explore in Kansas and Missouri, and I know I'm missing a lot of stuff in that experience, but I'm excited to get to Nantahala Forest and be the place that's a bit familiar, closer to home, and great riding and awesome weather. So that's what I'm gonna do. In Illinois, another gas stop today, the last one of the day, almost 450 miles. Well, another day of 450 miles. I went from Junction City, Kansas, to Mount Vernon, Illinois. I rode through Kansas, Missouri, and into Illinois. Exactly 450 miles, a third of the way to Fontana Village in North Carolina. So that's my goal for tomorrow. I got to check if they have availability. If not, there's plenty of stuff nearby, so I'm not worried. I'm gonna go unpack as usual, charge devices, find something to eat. And it was a long day on the road again. But Nantahala Forest is calling me and pulling me forward. Looking forward to it. Luggage cart, magic. Could unload in one shot, neatly packed. I just called Fontana Village and there's no availability. What was I thinking? It's end of September. I was just gonna waltz into the changing of the leaves at Fontana on a weekend and book a room. I got on the waiting list. They have a clogging event there. Maybe that's a factor. It's a big group, clogging. Anyway, that would be fun to get a room there and see what's going on. I'm gonna have to go back after dinner and check out a bunch of places online. Otherwise, I'll go to Asheville or Black Mountain or Little Switzerland or somewhere, but I gotta decide anyway. I just got a room outside of Robbinsville on the lake. And so I have a place to stay for the next 2 or 3 nights. I booked 2. I'll see if I like it. Spend 3 nights. So I'm gonna have some breakfast and just do the ride. No pressure on finding a place, which is pretty cool since a lot of places were booked this time of year and on the weekend, obviously. So a good rate and a beautiful location. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm gonna get going and grab some coffee. I'm gonna lose an hour today on the road, so that gets me in a bit late. Hopefully while it's still daylight out, because the last bit of the ride, literally the last 20 minutes of the ride, 30 minutes of the ride is over Tail of the Dragon. So that'll be after doing 420 miles. But I'm excited to get to North Carolina. Fuel stop somewhere in Kentucky, about 100 and something miles to Nashville, and a bunch of hours to North Carolina. But I'm going to keep listening to some good tunes, keep my eyes on the road, and tonight I'll be sleeping by a lake in the mountains of North Carolina in the Nantahala forest. I'm on 129. I'm going to ride over the Dragon. It's about 30 minutes to sunset. Is the only route just to get to the hotel. I just rode 430 miles, so I'm going to take it slow. But it's a beautiful evening, and I'm looking forward to getting to my lodging. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, have something to drink, and get in the game. So it was a long day, but it's the home stretch. And then I'm going to take a bunch of nights here in this area. It's beautiful and quiet. I'm going to cross into North Carolina in a few minutes. Came in here off the bike and just threw everything down. I gotta clean it up now so I have a place to sleep. My room is very patriotic. What an amazing location and place. Wow, I pulled in at sunset here. She was closing up, but she made me a wonderful salad, brought me some beers, sandwich, and I'm sitting outside, and there's the lake. Can't really see it with this shot, but I'm just so happy to be off the bike and successful journey. I'm going to spend 3 days here for sure. Peace and love, gratitude. I'm spent, I'm knackered, I'm shattered, I'm exhilarated. I'm joyous, I'm grateful. What a surreal experience.
Well, I'm just gonna stay around the place today and enjoy being off the bike. Yes, here I am. That's my famous catchphrase. Here I am. Boy, is the bike a bug mess. I'm not gonna think about it. Bike's gonna need a massive cleaning and new tires, front and back, and an oil change. Fog is clearing up. What a view. You can see the fog rolling in. A beautiful day. I'm sitting inside riding. I wanted to be off the bike, but you know, it's not too late. Maybe I'll fly the drone down there. I haven't done it in this whole trip. Oh, I'm at the Blue Waters Mountain Lodge by Santitla Lake near Robbinsville. And I'm gonna go check out the lake now. It's a day off the bike riding. It's a beautiful day though. It might make sense to go for a ride, but I've been enjoying myself journaling, doing some journaling, writing, some planning. Great road. Oh, look at that view. What a view. I could hear the water down below. Let's check it out. Wow, look at this setting. Okay, this is cool. This place is a sure find. Swimming and partying, probably all through the summer months. Pretty amazing. So this is day 16 on the road, and it's nice to have a day off the bike. And I have the whole lodge to myself, so it was nice just to relax after 1,350 miles over the last 3 days from Colorado Springs, 450 miles a day. I was really looking forward to arriving at Blue Waters Mountain Lodge. And as I pulled in, it was like an oasis. It was great to pull up here, and I was pretty excited. It was great last night at sunset to pull into the lodge here. 4,400 miles so far, back on the East Coast. Just like the gravity of Four Corners pulled me out west, the gravity of Nantahala Forest in this area pulled me in to the East Coast. So I'm happy to be back in familiar territory, and I'll do some exploring around here the next day or so before heading back to Florida. And I was really happy and thankful to have had the opportunity to do this trip and see everything that I've experienced in really a short amount of time. I mean, 15 days on the road as of yesterday. It goes fast, but a lot happens each day. I have a lot of video and a lot of pictures and a lot of writing that I've done. So over the coming months, I'll make some videos up, I'll review my journal, and I'll relive the experience anew, which is very cool. And I'll get to share some of it with family and friends. It's always fun working on the video after the fact, because it's a great reminder of all the wonderful things I've done and get to experience it again. So to the extent to which you can't really hold on to any given moment, it's a fun, powerful thing to be able to do, to have the journal there that captures my notes in real time and the pictures in the video. What a surreal experience. I'm literally the only one here on a Saturday. It is, what day is it, September 23rd? Yeah, something like that. So, you know, it's still the season. The changing the leaves are a few weeks away. I mean, there's a kayak here, the water, I could go for a swim. But the air is crisp and cool. The temperature is perfect. It's a great setting here. It's really amazing. I mean, riding on the bike in this area is amazing, but this is pretty spectacular just to be here in this moment, in this beautiful place. It's an unbelievable spot. It's just outrageous. Look at it.
wind is kicking up a bit. What a beautiful day. There's such a menu of wonderful choices to make. I could stand here, I could just be here. I could take a motorcycle ride. Wow, the air is amazing. Smell the lake and the green of the forest. It's just beautiful. This place is wild. It's just such a great find. It's an amazing day. Born to ride. Gone fishing. Route 66. I rode that this trip, portion of it. If you climb in the saddle, be ready to ride. Abbey Road, a little bit of Beatles reference. What a windy, beautiful afternoon. Lake Sexy outside of Robbinsville in North Carolina. Man, I can't believe I'm here. It's so freaking surreal. What to make of this? It's just such an amazing place. What a great experience. Just awesome. I'm excited to get back on the bike tomorrow. It'll be fun. And I have some potential routes in mind. Maybe I'll head north a little bit before turning south in the coming couple days back to Florida. It's great having all these options, and I'll just pick something and let the spirit move me.
A little over 2 weeks, so it seems like a month, but a lot of miles, 4,400 miles in a couple of weeks. So there's a lot of interstate, but there's, that's a different kind of riding. It's not the first choice, but there's a zone you get into, and going the distance, the endurance, the being in the moment, the letting time and thoughts slip away. So a different kind of riding. Without judgment. I was on the bike for many hours, and that's really the key. Outside on the bike, and that's really the key. Beautiful morning. Well, I'm heading in the direction of Asheville today. I'm going to ride on the Blue Ridge Parkway and maybe take some side roads, spend the night in Asheville, and then tomorrow start heading back to Florida. Good number of days on the road, and it's not finished yet. So looking forward to being on the bike minutes from now.
All right, leaving the Blue Waters Mountain Lodge. Trying to get out of here. It's a tight squeeze. And I'm off. Get my motorcycle legs back. The bike for a day. Oh, the air feels great. What's the temperature? 57 degrees. Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. I'm going to head up 129, but I'm not going to go to the Dragon. I'll pass right by it. I won't go over it. And I'm going to get on 28, the Moonshiner, heading towards Bryson City. And then on to Cherokee, and from Cherokee on the Blue Ridge Parkway for a bit, maybe the whole length. We'll see. There's a dam coming up on my right. It's not Fontana Dam, it's Chihuahua Dam or something like that. My pronunciations are not the best. Well, this is the Dragon where everybody's hanging out on a Sunday. So I'm gonna just make a quick loop. There's the tree. Good assortment of different bikes. The Deals Gap Motorcycle Resort. I think I'm gonna head down 28 now towards Fontana Village, the Moonshiner, and then on to Bryson City. All right, let's do this. Quick spin. There are some on here, especially on a Sunday, that want to treat this road like a track. I mean, they have the skills and the desire to do that. I just want to flow and enjoy the road. I'm not looking to scrape pegs and drag a knee. It's not happening. Especially my right knee, it's feeling good. Last thing I want to do is drag my right knee on the ground. Plus on the GS, that's not happening for me. I know people could do it, but ain't something I'm looking to do. I just want to ride some cool roads in some great weather, pass through some beautiful scenery, and enjoy the day. It's nice just to cruise on the Moonshiner at a normal pace. No one's behind me, no one's in front of me. So I could go at my own pace. Great ride, great road. I always like to do this, the Moonshiner between Deals Gap and Fontana and then towards Bryson, just because it's such a relaxing, twisty road in the forest. Nantahala Forest. Today I'll go from the Nantahala Forest to Pisgah National Forest near Asheville. And here I am at the pit stop gas station by Fontana Village. And more bikers out and about. I have a feeling, it's an educated guess, not even, it's just a reality. Sunday, people are out riding. I'm just glad to be spending the day outside. That's really the key. Outdoors on the bike in beautiful weather. Well, 28 turns into, I guess this is 74 for a little bit. Then I'll pop on 19. Coming up on Bryson City. I'm on the right street. There's, I stayed at that Ever Hotel a long time ago on the 50 of 50 days in 2018. Hi there. Little stroll in Cherokee, right before the entrance to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'll have to jump off at another point to get gas because I didn't see any gas stations. Tried to get some gas, but their bathroom's out of water, so I gotta go find the side of the road somewhere. Don't really know why this guy's running his lights up there, but like a pace car. I'm a mile from Blue Ridge Parkway, so. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This is the southernmost entrance of the parkway. And the cool thing is, get up to some good elevations pretty quickly. I'm sure the temperature is going to drop a bit. There's the sign. I've taken pictures there many times before, so I'll do a frame grab of that video and I'll have another picture. We love the tunnels. It was the longest That was the longest pee ever. Just buttoning up my pants. Everything's put away. So this is still PG rated. Oh man, that was tough. That was tough. Jeez Louise. Holy moly. Oh boy. I found my tree. Like that doggy. It was nice yesterday to be off the bike. I mean, granted, it's a mecca of super motorcycle roads in that area. But I think the trip for me has been a little bit different than past trips. Of course, I want to ride great roads and awesome routes, but sometimes it's been just about being on the bike, being still, whatever speed I was going, but just being in the moment, breathing, no thoughts, and just doing what I need to do, whether that was getting my way back across the country or going or coming or, or taking some twisty roads. But yesterday it was nice just being chill at the lake. I was still, I enjoyed nature, I was outside, I did a lot of writing, and so that's part of the adventure. I didn't have to put miles on. I was there. The motorcycle got me there. It's all part of the adventure. Gaining some elevation here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm stuck behind a car for a few miles back, and they were smoking cigarettes in there, hanging their hands out the car with the cigarette smoke billowing. It's amazing how you could just smell it all. And out in the open, the cars in front of you were at speed, but man, I was like 3 miles, I smoked a cigarette with them. Now I'm here in the fresh air. Well, it's time for a banana break. Oh, and some water. Wow. A pretty awesome day. Sunglasses on. Pretty beautiful out. 5,560 feet, the elevation. Oh. Bananas are very portable, but they get a little squished in the top case because I overpacked everything to the brim. I could barely fit a sandwich or a banana. I don't know why I have so much stuff, but I fit the banana. 6,053 feet, the highest elevation. Well, customary stop here. Big views. Big view. There's a big hiking trail here, as evident by all the cars parked along the parkway and people walking back. So far in this trip, ridden over 4,500 miles. It's really so hard to recall everything that's happened. Even though it's 17 days, it seems so much longer because each day is filled with so much experience, so many experiences. It's just mind-boggling. I mean, it seems like when I was paddling my way through the mud in the Santa Fe forest, seems like a lifetime ago. But when I was sitting on the $1 Million Highway because of a traffic jam, yeah, my first day coming up in that end of days torrential downpour in Florida outside of Orlando, where I just almost decided to just come to North Carolina and skip going to the Four Corners 17 days ago. Just feels like I've been on the road for a lifetime. So many experiences. Oh, in a lot of ways, every trip makes you a little different. You integrate those experiences, you grow, you change, you're the sum total of all those experiences, something new, constantly changing, constantly moving forward. Asheville, rock and roll. All right, bye-bye Blue Ridge Parkway. Oh, there's Jack of the Wood. Great bar. I remember going there several years on my way through here on Thursday nights for bluegrass. People would randomly show up on stage, 11, 12 people. It was pretty cool. Square? What is it called? Pritchard Square or something like that? Wow. That was a freaking weird GPS ordeal. Ta-da! Oh, I'm here. Whoa. I'm here in Asheville, Hilton Garden Inn. Let's figure out where to put the bike and unpack and all that good stuff. It's a freaking process, and I'm sweating my balls off. What a process. And then it's hot. Look at that efficiency. After 17 days. Pretty cool to be here. I got a good rate. Actually got it on points. So I'm like blocks away from some restaurants. Okay, heading to downtown Asheville for some dinner, a couple glasses of wine, and then back to the room to reorganize, prep, charge, journal, get ready for the ride, start of the ride tomorrow. I can't believe there was a time where I did it in one shot home, 786 miles. There's no way I have that in me anymore. I mean, you do what you have to do, but I don't have to do that, nor do I want to do that. So I'll break the ride up into, wow, that sun is strong, into 2 days. Half chicken. Wine from Italy, southern Italy. $7 a.m. I'm the first guest that the music is playing. But the most important thing is coffee. Breakfast. And so the moving stuff to and from the bike continues, and I'm gonna pack up the bike and hopefully get out of here in the next 15 minutes, get situated out of Asheville, 26 East, I-95 South, 11 hours of riding, and 750 some odd miles later, I'll be home. Probably spread it out, we'll spread it out over 2 days. So I'm off.
A little chilly this morning, but I'm sure in another hour I'll be pulling all the gear off and open up the vents and take this shirt off. So I'm just going to take my time over the last couple days. It's been a great trip, and I'm looking forward to getting home. Tomorrow night I should be home. It's fucking brutal. It's brutal, the temperature. 94 degrees. I'm in South Carolina. I just got on 95. So I got a cup of water. I'm going to do some instant air conditioning before I pull out. Instant AC. $140 miles into the 750-mile journey back home. It's 94 degrees. I went from North Carolina to South Carolina. I'm in Georgia now, near Savannah. And it's hot as hell. Probably going to ride another couple hours and leave 300 miles on the table for tomorrow morning. Well, 450 miles. I made it to Jacksonville, south of Jacksonville. I'm less than 300 miles from home. Successful day though. Tomorrow I should be home, maybe a little after lunch. I just went one block to get gas. The sun is out, temperature's high, and the humidity is, it might as well be raining. It's so wet out.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks, man. It might as well be raining. It's so wet out. I am soaked in 5 minutes in my gear. I'm gonna get moving 4.5 hours from home. Well, a quick gas stop to hydrate and fill the motorcycle up with some gas. I'm about 150 some odd miles from home, couple hours. It's hot and humid in Florida, but I'm happy to be on the road, feeling the breeze flow through my jacket on 95 South. I've ridden over 5,100 miles. By the time I get home, it'll be 5,300 miles. Exactly the trip that I wanted, because it's the one I had, and it's not over yet. I still have a few more hours on the bike, and I'm just really grateful for the experience. So I'm going to get moving because the sun is strong. Yes.
I'm home. Right before the rain is gonna hit too. Wow. What a freaking journey. What a journey. Oh boy. 293 miles today. And the bike has 48,308 miles. 5,327 miles I rode on this trip. And I'm gotta get the bike inside the garage now before it pours. Some big thunder and lightning I'm hearing. Trying to get the bike situated and stowed away. I could bring the car in and I could get have a drink and relax, shower. Well, I arrived home safe and sound, and I just beat this massive storm, the thunder and the lightning, and it's actually starting to rain now. I got the motorcycle stowed away. It's raining. A special thank you to this motorcycle that didn't fail me. Good companion for 48,000 miles so far and change, and 5,300 and change on this trip. Everything's home safe and sound, including me.